Welcome back. We're back in the G36 Bonanza with Sarah, and I'm Mindy. And we're taxiing right now down to the runway. We have the air conditioner system on, nice and blasting cold air. We're in Georgia today, just south of Atlanta, out of Falcon Field. And our air conditioner system is pretty cool. You can use it for taxi, takeoff, and landing, the most important parts whenever you're flying, right?
That's right.
And it doesn't have a big scoop or anything that hangs off the plane like kind of the older style air conditioner systems had. This one, we had a big update to a few years ago, and you can use it for those most important phases of flights when it's the most hot.
And the nice thing is that even with this black interior, it really cools the cabin.
Yeah, that and the tinted windows, and we're golden, even here in Georgia in the middle of May.
Falcon traffic, Bonanza 134, Bravo Bravo, departing runway 13, we'll be making our right turnout to the south. Falcon.
Falcon traffic, Cherokee 940, GLA turning crosswind, Falcon traffic.
All right, we're gonna take center line. We're gonna have a normal takeoff here today out of Falcon Field.
Falcon traffic, Cherokee 940, GLA turning right downwind, Falcon traffic.
Here we go. We're gonna bring our power smoothly forward. Taking center line. Our airspeed is alive. We're looking for 67 right now, and we're gonna pop it off the ground. We've got a positive rate. You're up.
Falcon traffic, Cessna 29 Sierra, right phase 13 Falcon, Southern student.
And right now we're gonna be shooting for 100 knots, which is VY in this airplane. And we're gonna make a right turnout down to the south. Let's go have fun. All right, yeah, so we're gonna level the airplane off here at 4,500 feet. And the first thing we wanna do is start cleaning up our airplane and get rid of some drag, and I'm gonna close these cow flaps. So that's gonna take some drag away from the airplane, and we wanna go fast, right? We're in a Bonanza.
Absolutely.
So what we're gonna do is let the airspeed catch up as we're leveling off here at 45, and then we're gonna set up our power settings. And pretty much right here for our throttle, we're right where we wanna be. So for a max cruise power setting, we're looking for 25 inches and 2,500 RPM. And then all we have to do is lean the airplane out. So we're first gonna set up in a rich of peak scenario, which is gonna get us our max performance out of the airplane. So what I'm looking for, we just wanna go fast. So what I'm looking for is the first cylinder to peak. And we're gonna see a first indication pop up there. And then we're gonna go 20 to 30 degrees rich of that peak.
So the 20 degrees is 20 degrees Celsius, and that's coming out of the POH
right.
from Continental. That's their advisement for best performance is going to be 20 degrees Celsius on the rich side. So right now, Sarah's pulling back on the mixture, and we're watching the fuel flow go down, and the EGTs are rising. Once one of them peaks, we see that first. It was kind of quick, but you'll see that blue box that said first.
There we go.
And now, that was our first cylinder that peaked, which in this case was number 5. Now she's enriching the mixture and putting the mixture back towards firewall and looking for 20 degrees rich of peak. So here we are right now at 20 degrees rich of peak. We're at 19 gallons per hour, 173 knots, and it's pretty warm. We're at 4,500 feet, so we're still pretty low too. And we're seeing only 3 knots under our max cruise. So it's nice that the numbers in our POH actually match what you get, right?
Definitely.
So now that we saw rich a peak, 173 knots, 19 gallons per hour, let's look at lean a peak and see what kind of speed and fuel flow differences we can get.
Yeah, let's do it. So just like before, we're gonna bring our mixture back, and what we're looking for, we saw the first indication, and then what we're really looking for lean of peak is gonna be that last indication. And here we are on the lean side of peak. And once again, we're looking for a temperature 20 to 30 degrees on the lean side. So we're on the high side right now and just seeing just about 15 gallons an hour.
All right, so now That's pretty cool to see, right?
Yeah.
So we're now 20 degrees on the lean side, 20 degrees Celsius on the lean side, and we're still at 168 knots, and we're only at 15 gallons per hour. Now that we're set up in cruise, we can look at the range rings on the MFD. It's a pretty neat feature of the G1000. So all you do is zoom out, and it's going to take your current cruise settings, the way we set it up, which right now we're running lean to peak, how much fuel that we have on board, and it's going to show us our range capacity. So this solid line on the outside is where we would run out of fuel with our current fuel on board. And this dotted line, we have it set up to where we have an hour left of fuel at this dotted line right here. So even to have an hour reserve, we can get here from Atlanta the whole way down to Key West, which is pretty good range.
Should we go?
I think so.
And a really neat thing about these range rings is that the G1000 is so smart. It even accounts for the winds aloft too. So if you have a really strong headwind, it'll even account for that as well. So it's a great check and balance.
Okay, so now we're going to show an ESP demo, which is our electronic stability protection. It's got underspeed protections, overspeed protections, and even bank protection. So we're going to show you guys the bank protection. Sarah's going to fly this for us. And basically what she's going to do is roll past these double lines here. That's our ESP lines. Once she rolls past that line, the ESP is going to start to notice that she could be in an unsafe situation, and it's going to start to nudge her back in the right direction. If she continues to overpower that nudge, and that's going to be on the yoke, she's going to physically feel that. After it starts to nudge her in the right direction, if she continues to override that, the autopilot's going to come on and go level. So Sarah, go ahead and show us what that would look like.
All right, so we're going to bank over to the left and see how the ESP works. We're going through some bumps here. So we're going to go right past that 45-degree marker. See the ESP bars? They just kicked right back over. And then I get the nudge on the controls. It's telling me to go back the other way. This is like having a safety pilot on board right now.
Engaging autopilot.
And now I take my hands off as the autopilot engages because it thinks that I'm entering an unusual attitude, or maybe I'm incapacitated, and it's correcting. It's giving me time to figure out what's going on with the airplane. So it's just a great safety feature. I think of it as like having a safety pilot on board with me when I'm hand flying the airplane.
Definitely. So the plane is on autopilot right now. You're not flying.
Hands off.
And it just rolled out on the heading that you were at and kept the altitude you were at. So it's just going to hold us here until you tell it to do something else.
Exactly. Pretty easy.
Awesome. Okay, so we are joining the GPS approach 1-3 in the Falcon right now. And we have our split screen up, which is pretty nice to be able to see the chart and our moving map at the same time. And we have a little pink airplane on there, and no, me and Sarah didn't pick out the pink airplane. Pink means GPS in G1000 Garmin world. So we are geo-referenced on the chart, which is pretty cool to see that up there and see you actually joining final, and it gives you a little bit more reassurance, right?
Traffic
Yeah.
778, timing runway 13 will be straight out of departure, Falcon.
This is an LPV approach, and our G1000 NXI can definitely do that. It has a coupled autopilot for approaches.
Yeah, the autopilot is doing everything. I'm hands off right now, and we can see that the glide path is alive. That's what the magenta marker up here means. And when that starts coming down, we're going to start preparing for our approach some more. And we're about 2 miles from our final approach fix. So our glide path is now alive, and that's usually a cue to me of when I bring in my first not to flaps approach flaps, which is 154. And 154 is both the approach speed and the gear extension speed. So it's nice that they're both the same number, less to remember.
Right, easy to remember, one number.
Yeah. So we just captured our glide path. We're below 154. I'm going to drop the gear.
1, 2,
3, and we've got 3 green.
3 seconds, nice and fast.
Yep.
For today, let's say we hit minimums and we didn't see the runway environment. Let's go ahead and do a full missed approach.
Yeah.
Using our go around button. So our go around button is right here on the throttle, so it's in a very easy place to hit. It's right here on the side of the throttle. Once you hit that button, it's going to initiate the missed approach, and it's going to load that full missed approach into the G1000 system. And all Sarah's going to have to do is clean up the plane, add power, and then have the autopilot follow the GPS route that it inputs.
Minimum.
So there's our minimums. We didn't break out, we didn't see the runway, so what I'm gonna do is hit that go around button. Autopilot's still engaged. I'm bringing the power forward.
Great.
We're climbing. It's shooting us up. We're gonna climb up to 3,000 feet. And I wanna climb out at 110, just nice, easy, comfortable airspeed. And I'm gonna bring our gear up, start cleaning the airplane up. And gears up.
Good.
And we're just gonna continue gaining some airspeed here. And I'm gonna bring our flaps up. That's all there is to it. So just think about yourself in IMC right now. There's a lot going on. But the G1000 and the GFC 700 really helps out to decrease pilot workload.
So now that you set this up, we added power, cleaned up the plane, we're on the missed approach, we have the GPS following the approach and the airspeed that we want. The plane is gonna go, shoot the full missed approach, and stay in a hold until we tell it to do something else, right?
Pretty easy.
Awesome, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let's rejoin the pattern and come back around to land.
Let's do it. And we're gonna start flaring.
There's our stall warning horn right as you're touching down. Beautifully done.
And we made it back to Falcon Field.
Alpha is departing runway 13.
Well, awesome job. I hope you guys enjoyed this two-part video series. This second part was our flying portion, but if you missed it, in our first part of the series, we did a thorough walk around of the plane and pointed out some key features of the G36 Bonanza. Again, this is the one with the G1000 NXI. This is a 2020 model. So, hope you guys enjoyed our flight.
I had fun.
That was fun. Great job, Sarah.
Thanks.